Retirement just got a whole lot more expensive. New data shows how much money Americans need to save in order to retire at the age of 65.
And depending on where you live, that number could be close to $1 million or even double that.
According to a new state-by-state analysis from a personal finance website, Go Banking Rates, the highest amount needed to cover basic needs is in Hawaii. Retirees there need more than $2 million in savings. On the flip side, the cheapest is Oklahoma with a total of $735,000.
Some of you may be scared. Man, I don't have close to $2.2 million, or maybe I do, and I could live in Hawaii if I want to. But what we really need to take a look at is that this is to retire at 65. Now, there's a couple things here. This is not just your retirement account. This can include brokerage accounts. This can include your checking, your savings, additional income that you're having. The assumption that a lot of people have is that at retirement, I am not going to make another penny. And that's not always the case. Sometimes we're working beyond 65. Sometimes we have additional income. We may have a rental property that is generating income. All that is going to contribute to the amount of money that you're going to need. The number that they're coming up with is how are you going to live through retirement for the next 20 and 30 years? How much money are you going to need? And that's typically based on how long they assume you are going to live as well. So all those factors do play a role of how much money that you need. As I tell everybody, people still survive on less. So when they say basic needs, they are assuming a certain lifestyle. You may live below that lifestyle. You may live above that lifestyle. 2.2 may not be enough. 700,000 may not be enough, but you need to come up with that number so you feel comfortable. So when you're seeing numbers like this, you don't get deflated. A lot of us, even me, I live a very basic life. So I thought about this idea a little bit earlier that for me, whenever I do anything that I like, I try to do it in the most cost-effective way. For example, I like coffee. So I got my rewards points at the local gas station that gives me free coffee. It was like free coffee for like a month or something like that. And every cup of coffee is like discounted. And I was like, okay, I'm spending like $2 here. Do I really want to spend $2? Right? Everyone says, if you spend $2, you'll become a millionaire. But I do like coffee. Well, I found out that you can get instant coffee. And I was like, oh, well, I could just make my own for cheaper by the cup. Let me do that. So I could still have the coffee, but I just did it in a more cost-effective way. Now, some people's like, well, I love my Starbucks. Well, if you love it so much, you can create it at home and you can do it for a fraction of the price. So those things, making those lifestyle adjustments can save you tons of money. If a cup of coffee is only 10 cents when I make it at home, but it's $2 when I go to, a local gas station, then look how much more money I'm going to have to make in order to satisfy that purchase or to satisfy that desire to have coffee. And that's what we're talking about here. Utility. How much are we willing to pay for convenience versus how much are we going to pay for the utility of actually having that thing?